Hello everyone. As you can probably tell by the sweat and the window open and the water, it's pretty humid in London at the moment, so I'm going to have to be drinking throughout this video. This video is going to be about CDs and DVDs and how they're extremely useful when keeping yourself motivated while learning a language, any language. And as I'm a general music and film lover, I don't obviously just restrict myself to the target languages I'm learning. Let's start with a few films. These are some of my favourite French films. Note that this isn't all the French films that I like. There are many more, but I'm just giving an example of the types of things that keep me motivated. And this is Diving Bell and the Butterfly. It's absolutely excellent, but a kind of heart-wrenching film about a guy called Jean-Dominique Bobby, who suffered a massive stroke, leaving himself a prisoner inside his own body, unable to communicate other than blinking an eye. He then wrote a book through some form of translation, and that was turned into this film after his death, which was a massive shame. Then we've got this film, The Class, which is essentially it's an amateur production about a group of mixed-race teens in a class in suburban Paris who are kind of struggling with things, and how the teacher is struggling to control them. Also, Les Chansons d'Amour, which is basically about a threesome, and then there's death and songs and stuff. It's very sweet. Now on some Japanese films. The first one, Battle Royale, is a prime example of how Japanese media can be quite extreme. It says at the dawn of the new millennium, Japan is in the state of near collapse. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Violence among nation's youth is spiraling out of control. Essentially, a group of 40 teenagers in a class, 30 teenagers in a class, are all sent to an island to kill each other based on pure lottery. It's very good and surprisingly funny. Also, Seven Samurai, which is a very old adventure film. It's one of the first of its type. It was when it came out, the director was made famous for his ability to portray action scenes very realistically. It's very good Japanese film. Swedish film called Let the Right One In. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it, but I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to horror, and I've just been told it's not actually that scary, so it's alright. It's basically a vampiric Charles film. So excellent, yes. I'm looking forward to watching that. There's first one, 101 Reykjavík, which is about Hilmir, who's he's about 30. He's never had a job. He still lives with his mum. Then one day his mum's Spanish friend comes in. He falls in love with her. Turns out, well, I won't go on. But it's kind of funny and kind of crude. It's very good. Then there's Nói Albinói, which is an example of how Icelandic directors can be just as good at making odd characters as the French can be. A couple of Chinese films are in this set, Unknown Pleasures and Xiao Wu. I'm not entirely sure if that's pronounced correctly, but I will. I haven't actually seen the second one, but I've seen Unknown Pleasures. It's really just kind of a portrait of modern city life in China. It's very good. There's a couple of Portuguese films. City of God, which again I haven't seen, but it's supposed to be excellent. See it. And then there's Love Actually. I'm not entirely sure how accurate the Portuguese is in it, but that's for you to decide. Subtitles can also be extremely useful. I was recently enticed into rewatching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which isn't a fantastic film, based on the fact that it had Icelandic subtitles, and I could watch along, and I could pick up a few phrases, and it's extremely confidence boosting if you notice phrases and grammatical structures in the language you're learning, even in the subtitles. So yeah, good idea. Now on to music. I may have mentioned in my introductory video that one of the things that made me kind of conscious of Iceland was the band Sigur Rós. So I'm gonna, well, this isn't actually all of them. Their second album, Ágætis Byrjun, I actually can't find my copy of it. I think it's in the car. But yeah, these are of varying use, technical use to Icelandic learners, but it's all beautiful music anyway. The ones which are probably most useful, well, Von, it is mainly sung in Icelandic. The thing with Sigur Rós is they sing some stuff in Icelandic and some stuff they sing in basically gibberish vocals. Von is one of the purists in terms of actually having a lot of Icelandic, but you can't really understand much of it. I can't really understand much of it. It's extremely layered and things. Then there's Tak, which is probably their breakthrough album. Með Suðureyrum við spilum endalaust is their latest album, has a lot of Icelandic on it. It's also the first one to feature any English on it. And then there's a few others. There's Babi Dikkadodo, Heim, which accompanies their DVD, which is excellent. I recommend watching that. And the one, if you purely want to buy Icelandic music to hear the lyrics, don't get this one. It's an excellent album otherwise, because it doesn't contain any lyrics as such. Onto other music. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these in CD form. I've just started Finnish, so I've been listening to actually a lot of Finnish rap, which I suppose isn't probably the most useful to listen to as a beginner. But a person called Asa and Rapana, I'll put links down at the bottom to their music. The first is a rap artist and the second is a reggae artist, both extremely good. The French, I suppose they're kind of like black metal and post-rock bands called Alcest, who are very, very good. A couple more of Icelandic projects and things. There's Amelie, who often tour with Sigur Rós. They don't really have many lyrics on their albums, but there's one on this one which does. They've got two. They got one under Amelie and they've got one under Amelie, which came before it. All very, very good. All just kind of like slightly weird instrumental stuff. Very good. Who else have we got? Italian band Novembre, I don't know. They're like a death metal band. They sing, I believe, they sing mainly in English, but they have got some stuff in Italian. There's a Japanese band, Boris. They're famous for having some songs which are very, very sludgy and some songs which are kind of like more J-rock. Also J-rock, MUCC. I believe they have a Japanese name, but the English version they use is MUCC. Also Mono. I don't actually know if they sing, but it's very, very pretty post-rock stuff. Also Japanese. Norwegian band Jaga Jazzist or Jaga Jazzist. They do kind of like progressive jazz stuff. I also forgot a couple more of Icelandic projects. Jónsi, whose album is probably one of the happiest I've heard ever, and it's just ecstatically awesome. Contains, yeah, this is the special edition. Contains a lot of English, but also a few songs in Icelandic. Very, very, very good. He's also the singer of Sigur Rós, and he's done stuff as Frakker and Rice Boy Sleeps. The second is a project with his boyfriend, and the first is a solo project, and they're both kind of like ambient instrumental stuff. There's Oliver Arnalds. I don't believe he sings, but he does very, very pretty piano work. There's Steindor Andersson, who sings in an ancient Icelandic style called Rímur, which just means rhymes. He's really excellent. He's done some stuff with Sigur Rós as well. And then there's Moom, who I don't believe sing in Icelandic, but also very, very good. A couple of films I forgot. There's Amelie, which is a French film, very, very good and very famous, and Pan's Labyrinth, which is a Spanish film, which is very famous. Anyway, the point of this video was to, well, it's probably emphasised my passion for films and music, but it's also to emphasise that if you can find any media in any language that you're learning, and any language you're not, I mean, it's just interesting. Just listen to it and watch it, because it will undoubtedly motivate you if you like it. Thank you for watching.